Hi, my name is Julie Blake and I'm here to share with you my first junk journal. I've made this for my best friend's daughter. She's in England and she is about to finish her teacher's training, and I thought that this might be a nice way for her to be able to remember certain moments in her teaching. I'm stuttering, I'm sorry. Especially as she starts out. I thought, that if a student brings her something, she might be able to just write a note about it, how it made her feel, that kind of thing. Not necessarily a regular everyday journal, although she could use it for that if she would want to, but just more of a memory keeper. She can add photographs if she wishes, and there's plenty of places for that and for memorabilia. But I've also kept in mind that she might not want to journal at all, and she might want to just use this little book as an inspiration. And I've added some inspirational quotes and sayings along the way, which I'll show you, but I'm not going to read everything. I don't want to make this video too long. I've had one go at it and I'm afraid that I had to stop because my camera joist fell apart. I do have a lovely tripod, but unfortunately I've lost the plate that attaches the camera to the tripod. So if you could see the setup that I've got here, the first one just collapsed. So I'm hoping that this one's going to hold. Okay, to the journal. With it being my first, I thought it might be easier to make it using my cinch. But after I've done this, and it's quite chunky, the first time I put this together, I'd only got 1 inch O-rings. Well, it was just not big enough, and I mean this was just coming wide open. So I had to order 1.25 inches and wait for it to come, and it is a little better. But as you'll see, it is still quite chunky. But I've added so much and I just didn't know when to stop, I'm afraid. And hopefully I've learned from this that I don't have to put everything in. So let me start then. As you can see, my friend's name is Holly, and I thought Miss Holly would be appropriate for the front, but I've also put her initials, and I've made this plate. This is actually just cardstock embossed and die cut, and then I put glossy accents on it, let that dry, and then I've stuck a metal piece on there, and I've coated that with the Inca Gold, and let that dry somewhat, and then buffed it up. And then stuck the whole thing on. And the initials are just ordinary thickers, and I put glossy accents over those too. Now the covers, front and back, are an example of a video that I followed that made the ordinary craft paper look like leather. I will be linking the video below, as I will also link the shops and so on of the people that I've used their digi printouts. I'm not going to try and remember each piece as to where I got it from. I do have a primary digikit, but it would be too difficult to remember where I've got everything from individually, so I will link them all. I don't want to not give anyone credit because I've got some beautiful papers, but I've also picked up some prints from Google and Pinterest. So I've used a Tim Holtz hitch post with a hairband, and I've made that a little metal piece here to go around the post itself, and then this part underneath here, this circle, it's just a punch of paper that I glossy accented, and then I put that gold, Inca Gold, around it. I did put Inca Gold around the edges of the main part too. And I just want to mention here also that I've watched a lot of Cheryl's Deli Girl 1961 videos, a lot of her videos. She's so generous. But she was saying that she liked her covers to be soft. And I thought, no, I think I want mine to be stiff, to be hard. So I covered not cardstock, chipboard with black cardstock, and then stuck decorative paper on this side, and then the leather look craft card on the front. But now that I've finished it, now that I've made it, and because it's so chunky, I understand now why Cheryl says that she prefers the soft cover, and I think that next time I will do the same. I didn't put a pocket on the inside of the front cover because I just got enough inside, and I hadn't done that first. I'm kind of glad I didn't. I had a sheet in here to start with, and it was a short sheet, but it just kept folding over here. You couldn't see it properly when you opened it, so I took that, I moved it somewhere else in the journal. So I didn't want to put something else on here. If Holly would take some things out, of course she would be able to add whatever she would want on there, and of course she can just journal on there too. The first page I've used a belly band, and this here I've used as a stopper. This is like a little library card, and hold on a minute, library card and envelope, and this is part of the digi kit too, although the library card isn't. I printed that. I backed everything with I printed out reverses on almost everything. Of course I didn't on the coffee stain papers, but you can see that I've reverse printed everything, so you can write on the backs. I've used let me see here, the distress ink, and it's in walnut stain. That's what I've used to ink everything, and I used the small one with just a regular finger dauber. In fact, this is my second one. I got through one. This is just a belly band that it's just a scrap piece of paper, and I hold on a sec, let me put this back in, I can't see what I'm doing. And I put just a regular little paper flower on that I made, just a punch out from different scraps of card. I used the Martha Stewart corner punch. I'm not sure what it's called. Hold on a minute, let me see. It's called no, that's not it. That's not it, I'm sorry. If I can find it and find the name, I'll put the link in the description box. There's a paper clip here, but this is coming from the other side. This is lined under here, so she would be able to journal on there again if she would want to. So this here is the paper clip, and I made those too, and then this is just a part of the printout, and I did do this on regular paper, and again I've printed both sides, and then I've just used it as a little tuck. And then this is what I've filled it with. I've filled it with tons and tons and tons of pictures of teachers, children and school, that kind of thing. So that's hold on a minute. Sorry, my husband came home from work and he shouted. Normally he doesn't shout to let me know he's home, and first time he does, I'm videotaping. Okay, let me push that back in. This is part of the DigiKit. Just look how beautiful that picture is, and this is just an example of that. And again, it's Karen's. It's Karen's anyway. So please look for the link underneath, and I will put that it's the main DigiKit. It's Karen's something, and I'm so sorry that I can't say it in the video. But each this is like comes when you print it out, it's just one sheet, and of course I've split it. But if you're doing the regular pamphlet stitch, you wouldn't have to cut. But each big picture has a inspirational saying on the other side, and they're really lovely. And there's some people at the bottom there. I didn't want to cover these pictures, so I didn't do any decorations there. On this side I just did some, if you can see that, I've done some embossing, powder embossing. Just made a little flower out of scrap paper, and then I used those little mini beads, micro beads in the centre. And this is just a download. I've backed it with some another download, and then I've put, wait a minute, that's upside down. This is where I've started putting the quotes. And this one says, "The best teachers are those that show you where to look, but not what to see." And again, like I say, she can use those as inspiration, or however she would want to. And then this again is lined, so she can journal there if she would want to. Then over this side, I've done one of those envelopes. I've made an envelope with the envelope thing, and I've stuck it on both sides. So this side, it's a tuck spot. I've layered the envelope with some lace, die cut, book paper flower, some ticket I've made from a punch, and then a little punched butterfly. And that's the smallest of the 3 butterflies on Martha Stewart's punch. And then this is on the coffee paper, which you'll be able to see some of the coffee paper. Actually, you can see the back side here, because this is the back side of the envelope, and I've made it loose like that, and then you can see that that's the coffee paper. I've used a few stamps throughout, not too many, because I mean, I've over decorated it as it is. I've also put another little quote on there, and these are all to do with either teaching or children. Inside the envelope, this is from the download too. It's a little book. You can put it together, and I've put another quote in there. "You helped me see what I could be." Excuse me. And then I've put a couple of sheets inside. But I also put an envelope in, and I've put another couple of tags in the envelope, and I used glossy accents on part of the tag. That one's printed on both sides too. And then through you can see this digikit is just fantastic. It's called Feathered Friends. It's just beautiful. Here again, I've left the flap of the envelope for a tuck spot, and this is presented to, and I haven't filled that out yet, which I intend to. And then I just laid a cut out, and that's that little book, and I put that in the envelope so that she could see that. I did do a couple of regular photographs in here, and I thought that was cute, like a school bell. And I've printed on the other side, but I've also put some of one way or some of the other. Again, quotes. If you would want to read it, you can pause the video if you would want to. I don't want to make this any longer than it is. Here again is another picture from the DigiKit. And then this is like a 2-page. Look, this is for journaling if you would want to. I've done a bit of stamping on there, and again, this is one of my paper clips, decorated paper clips, and I've used Irene's instruction, and I'll link her below, and also Deli Girl's Cheryl. This is just a little tag, and then I've put this tag in also, and this is Grandma teaching little girl, and then I've backed it, and of course you can journal on that. I tried to use stripy paper so that she could journal on it. Now I've used these, I don't know if the colours are showing up well. I do hope they are. Oh, by the way, there's another little quote. I've used these pops of colour. This is like a burnt orange, and then this is a maroon. I have inked them to age them, and I've used that one as a tuck spot. And these are just ordinary, you know, cutouts. And I did put, what is it called? I've just been saying it. I actually did use diamond glaze as well, so it could be diamond glaze or the glossy accents. And then there's a little picture of a teacher reading to the kids, and then I've put another quote on the back. So I'll just tuck those back in and sort them out later. And then this page here, I just left it as it was because it's just so pretty. And then here's another coffee dyed page. I did use washi tape to strengthen the coffee papers because I was using the holes, but I wish I'd have used a different one. This is black and white, and it just doesn't go with the papers, and I'm a bit disappointed in myself. Here again, I used that colour. I thought that went with this desk actually too. That's why I put that piece in. I've done this one just a tuck, but this is it opens up, and then you can, you know, there's a little quote on the back. And then, as I say, this one I've punched in because it's quite a large picture, and I got this off Pinterest or Google, whichever, and then I've printed on the back and then put another quote. And then this is part of the digi kit, and that's got its own quote, and I didn't want to put anything else on there. But again, here we go with another picture, but this time I've made it into a, you know, it's got a little tuck thing there to stop it coming out. Hold on a minute, I don't want to rip it. But it's a flap, and then I've put the quote underneath so that she can discover these quotes as she goes through the book, and then she can journal underneath and on the back. Here again, I used that coloured paper. These I've cut out on my Cricut, and this is coffee dyed paper with the doilies on top, and I did bake them, but I have ironed them after. Some have still got a little bit of texture, but for the most part they're ironed. And then I just put a little tag in there. Some of the things that I've put in, I did put in just to show that they are tuck spots, because I don't think Holly would know first of all what a junk journal is, and secondly what all the little bits and bobs are in them. So I've tried to indicate that along the way. This one here, I've used the little butterfly as a stopper for another flap, and then I've put the quote underneath there, and she can journal here if she would wish, and that's on the coffee dyed paper. And then just look at this. Isn't that absolutely fabulous? The colours are amazing. And then on the back, I've tried to match up colours as best I can. The colours are so rich in this DigiKit that I've not always been able to. Now I've got some paper that has numbers on, so I made a little tuck spot there. This is just a little paper clip. I just stuck it on there, and then I love this one. Look, it's the teacher. She's washing the ears of the little kids as they come in, and then again I've put a little quote on the back, and then I've just stamped that one. This I've put in a little envelope and stamped it, and used a butterfly punch as the stopper. I've put a little quote there that she can find, and a couple of more little pictures in here that she can find. I love the little spots and little hidden places that you can do, and I've put another quote on the bottom. This is also part of the kit, and it obviously it's lined, so you can use that, and I didn't want to cover those beautiful butterflies up. Now, oops, my things are falling out. Okay, this side I made this pocket, but then I ended up not really liking it. I'll take those out. It's a piece of cardstock that have got numbers on, but on the other side I folded these back, but it was beige, so you can't tell much difference until the actual tag is in, and then you can see where I folded it back. I've just shaped it to the shape of the page, and then I'll put another little flower on there, and I've kept those pretty standard because it's thick enough. I mean, she can fluff them up, but then there's a picture in there of the teacher, and then she can journal on the back of that. This is another coffee dyed page with the doily pattern on, and an envelope, the flap that I've used it as tuck, and I've put the quote on there. I've got another little picture of a teacher, and then this is a little envelope, but again I don't want to stick it in because it's so pretty on the back, so I put a little postcard in, and I printed on the back of that, and then I also put another little tag that she can journal on if she would want to, just to show. I didn't want to put too much in there, but just to show that they are places where she can put things. And then on the other side, there's the back side of the envelope, and I've just laid that. Again, I've used one of these little frames and I've embossed it, and then a little bit of lace and some fibres. And, excuse me, on the back of that, there's one of the quotes again. If you would want to read it, wait a minute, is that the right way up or is that upside down? Hold on, I can't see. Oh, yeah, that's it. And then inside the envelope, another picture with children on. I love these old pictures. Well, I mean, I know it's a painting, but, you know, rural pictures. And then another little pretty tag. Put a quote on that one, so she'll find that one as she goes along. Then I got a picture of a schoolhouse. Of course, schoolhouses in England don't look like that, but I thought she might enjoy that one. And then I printed on the back and I've stuck a little quote on that. Then another page from there, and it's got lines for journaling. Then I made one of those double corner ones that, and again, I can't remember the lady's name, but I will link her video where she does this, and you can see from it. Now we'll explain in the description box. I've got a little girl, and I've printed on the back. And then I've got this one with a little boy drawing on the board, and then she can journal on the back of that one if she would want to. This one I coffee dyed a piece of regular paper. I put a sticker on there, and actually, yes, all the quotes I printed on label paper, just full sheets label paper, and then I sprayed them with Lindy's. Actually, Lindy's and my own spray. I know that looks a ghastly colour in there, but it's green metallic, and it's metallic paint that I've just added water to, and just use an old squirty bottle, and then I use that, and a couple of others just made the same. And it turned out really well. And this is the coffee dyed, and I didn't want to put anything on that primarily because it's so flimsy, but she can write on that, and then I used the stamps. This one's a picture that looks like a class for, as if they've got their Easter bonnets on or something. It's evidently old, but I thought that was very cute, and she might be leading her own class very soon and encouraging the parents to make some Easter bonnets. The back of it I've put one of those stickers on, and here again I've used one of those tuck spots and just put a tag in to show her, and I put one at the top and one at the bottom, and then there's the coffee dyed paper at the back. that's the other side of the coffee dyed paper, and I used a couple of butterfly stamps. And then this one is the back. I put that in a different way. And it's a recipe for a good teacher. Then this is the print again, and I made a flower to stick on there. And then on this side I did a bottom pocket, and I put just a little butterfly on there. And this one is a little boy and a girl, and I put this one, he's in the snow, so I put glossy accents on the snow. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. It doesn't look as if it is what this little girl's doing. And then on the inside I've printed it, and she can use that to journal, or she could put pictures in there, or even if someone gives her a flower or something, she could press the flower and put it in there and then tell about it. Here's another one of those excuse me, another one of those paper clips that I decorated. And then this here is a tiny little envelope with just a tiny little tag in, some stamps actually, and then she can put them somewhere if she would want to, or not. And then I stamp that. And then this is just a little tag, and she can write on the back of it. As I say, there was just so many ideas I got. I've taken so long to do it. I think I've been working on this for like 6 months. And I made the mistake of just watching video after video after video. So you get so many ideas in your head that you want to put everything into one. Oops, let me take that out of there. That you want to put every idea that you've gathered into one journal, and you just can't. But I had a good go. There's another one of the quotes. And here's another picture that I got that I just stuck in there. It's story time. And then I printed on the back. These are from the ones on a lot of the ones on the back, not them all. This comes with lines, and it's from Dreams Etc. And she did a bundle a little while ago. She may still be doing it. There's about 5 different files, all with lines, all different kinds. There's butterflies, there's birds, there's letters and postcards, all different kinds of things, and she got them in a bundle, and I've been using those for the back. This is just one of those layered doilies, a tuck spot. I used my punch to punch out like some film paper. It's just cardstock, and then I made a flower and put that on, and I've made this a tuck. And here's a little girl, it's as if she's daydreaming, and that's a journaling area again if she would want to. And then the doily, if I can get it here, goes on to the next page, and I've also layered that and put a little, this one opens this way, and put lines in there, and then that's a little tuck spot, and then the quote goes for the beautiful picture on the other side. And then again I use those colours, papers. Here's a little photograph from Pinterest probably, or Google, and then just a little, again, some of these that, like this one, I've only really put it there, I mean it's decoration, it looks pretty, but just to show that you can tuck something in that little spot there. And then there's a coffee dyed sheet. I'm taking way too long, you're going to be bored stiff. Another little picture with a corner tuck spot, another quote, another school picture with another one of the paper clips that I decorated. I really enjoyed doing them. I did them all together, but there's a stamp on there. And another corner. This is just a I can't remember whether I think I did it on my Cricut. It's a full doily, and then I cut it into 4 and used it, and just a little tag. And then this is a printout from somewhere, and then I glossy accented the little bird and the eggs, and then I did a belly band on the back with the letters, and put a couple of tags in the back. These are again some school pictures, and then there's a little fold out that she can journal in or stick something in there. And I used a punch on the sides, and did both of them in there, and then some more coffee paper. I did a belly band there, you can see it's in that same colour, and then there's another picture. She's reading to him again, and then there's a quote down there if you'd want to read it. And then that teacher is reading to her boy. He doesn't have shoes on, so I'm figuring it's when my little story is that this is set when there was only one schoolroom, and he's perhaps one of the older boys and not getting chance to read because she's having to spend time with the younger kids, and so she's taking time after class to just practice reading with him. And then that's a flip. Oops, and I printed on the back of that. That's one of those papers again from Dream Etc. And I put the quote in there. And then more coffee dyed paper. I just love how these turn out. It's just fabulous. Then again, I just more or less put this in here just to show her that you can tuck in there. There's just a fold out little, butterflies and things. You can tuck that in there. Oops. And then, wait a minute, I'm missing a page. That's just an extra piece that I put in. And then there's another one of those tucks there with that paper, and then another teacher thing. This is cute. My teacher does her best to tell how I should read and write and spell. I often wonder when I see how patient teacher is with me. I wonder how a teacher grows to know the many things she knows. When I am big, I want to be as kind, as wise and good as she. I think that's just lovely. And then, oops, I'm sorry. The next side is the other side of that paper, but I put a doily on. Well, it's not actually a doily. It's a book page, and I punched it out with another one of those flowers, and then there's just a little folder, and then there's one of those quotes and a beautiful picture from the digi kit. On this side, I just love that picture. It's looked at the end of the day. And I did a little flip out, and then there's the quote on there. That's from J.K. Rowling. Anything's possible if you have enough nerve. Sorry, I'm reading upside down and back to front. And then this one is something that I embossed, run through the embossing machine, and then made a little flower. And I put it on the coffee paper, and I glossy accented that butterfly just to tuck in there. Then that's the coffee paper, the other side of the coffee paper with the doily. This is a printout, and then I put the quote on the back. And then I had some more of that paper, and I put a couple of flowers on and a butterfly. And then it's got a hole in it, but I just like it. I think that it gives it character. And then I put a butterfly there. There's another picture here that's a fold out, and I put the quote in there. Excuse me. And then that's part of the printout. And then this one here is the cutest little boy taking an apple for his teacher. I printed that and put a quote on the back. Education is the single most important job of the human race. So that you can think about that. And I made a little belly band, and I've put a one of those little tickets as a stopper on the bottom, and then I've tucked another couple of tags in there. The journal paper, and then this is the back of one. I put it in the other way, and the quote here is, "Teachers shape the minds of our children and our future." And then that one there is a little girl being taught. An old picture, and you just have to read this one, it's so cute. "I will not yell in class, I will not throw things, I will not tease the kids, I am the teacher, I am the teacher." Again, this little tuck spot here was I made on my Cricut. Oops, my pockets, my things are falling out. Here's another doily tuck spot. I use that embossing again, a little flower. And this one here is a little, just a little card, and it's got a quote on the back, and then this one's a teacher. Wouldn't you know? Another teacher. And then that's the other side of the doily, and I made, there was a little blue flower. I'd made some embossing paper one time and used that, and then the little fairy, and I glued them on, and I tried to match the blue here to her belt there. And this is just another one of them little booklets, and I put a quote in there. That one is, "Thank you for giving me courage." And then I made another one of those pockets as I did earlier, and I put, this is like books, paper with books on, another one of those fold tags. And then this one's a belly band, and I put a butterfly on, but it's made from like tape measures or ruler, and I've got a picture of a satchel, school satchel, and another picture of the kids. I think I need to put a stopper on the bottom of this because it looks to me as if everything's falling through. That's on the coffee paper, and I left that one free. I put another of those 3 level pockets, and I just stuck that little bit of paper in there just to show that you can put something in there. Tag here and another tag there. And then underneath you can journal if you'd want to. And then this side, again, it's one of those quote sides, and the beautiful pictures. And this one I did a brad, and I made holes in the little pieces, stamps and little tag, and you can just move them around and do what you want. You can move it out the way and journal underneath, and then slot them back. And then another one of those 3 papers, the school bell cut out, tag, and then another picture. There's a stamping. And then this one, I wasn't sure about this, whether to include it or not, but I ended up doing. I've done it on coffee dyed paper. I'll take the tags out so that you can see it's just a regular tag. Another picture. They're learning the difference between right and left hands on that one. And then this one's like a little dictionary umbrella. But I got a book from the thrift shop, and it's all about architecture, and I just folded the sheet up. I think it might be one of Cheryl's pockets, because there's a tuck spot, or rather a pocket, and I wasn't going to use it, but then I thought, well, because I like the coffee paper. And then there's another bit from the printout, and I put a quote on the back of there. Let me see. "What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others and the world remains and is immortal." Albert Pike. And she can journal there. And this is the back cover, and I put the kids are going home from school with their backpacks. And and it's also a little pocket. Okay, I do apologise for it being so long. Again, I will put the links below. Please comment. I understand that there will be some criticism, and I welcome it, because I'm just beginning. This is my first one, as I say. I do understand about the mistakes that I've made, but I do want to learn. And I thank everybody that's helped me. It's been fantastic. And Junk Journal Junkies, all their little Facebook groups are just fantastic. The people are wonderful. So please check them out, Junk Journal Junkies, and have fun. Try it and go to all these different links and people. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week and a wonderful year. And I hope I can see you soon. Bye bye now.